dust in the universe to the waters in the womb I surf. I'm the all in all, from the atoms that exist in the sun to the atom that's in Genesis 1. I'm the all in all, from the first king that walked this globe to the last black slave they stole. I'm the all in all, every living thing you see, all of those things exist in me. I'm the all in all, from the depths of the sea to Mount Everest. Allah in the flesh, most benevolent. This physical form born from melanin. When electrical thought sparked intelligence. Ain't nothing existing I don't exist in. From the clouds in the heavens down to this skin. If you're doing the knowledge, you can follow jewels. In both cases, the basis, water molecules. Rain, sleet, snow, hailstorms come together the same way that my cells form. You don't see it yet, hard to fathom still. It's alike to the pyramids, how my atoms build. I existed as
Euclid Avenue, it's a dude up there right now. They got he got 4 trucks up there, like 10 tables. He got up there right after us, and I see him off and on. And when I see him, he always remember, y'all the guards that gave me this spot. Because we used to be standing outside of, Euclid Avenue subway station with the tables, Ole Cassini, Godfrey Bean, Cologne, and all that. We go down to 59th Street where they got the big wholesale place and get all the you always get merchandise for the women, because women are the biggest purchaser. We learned that back when we was young. So after a while, we stopped concentrating on buying cologne because men, they don't never want to spend money. We always forced to spend money because we got to give money to our women to spend the money that we make, or the money that they earn. But most of the time, because there's way more women than it is men, that's mathematically speaks for itself. That if you a consumer, you want to get, or a person that wants to be able to supply goods and services, especially out on the streets, you would cater more to the women than you would men. But and with that story, we was up there with signs on the wall, must buy black, and all that. That's how we was doing it as young guards, on the corners, building. We be building, people come by, hey, let me get 50 cents. And after a while, we done got up enough money, go get us a couple of quarts of old gold. And I know all y'all that's on this religious and holy, representation of the 5% and everything, that y'all don't want me speaking like this. But this is the language that need to be spoken to the youth so that they can see the attraction and the reason why. And instead of being dumbed down, they can be intelligent up. So we used to be on the corners dropping all these Jews. That's why the hip hop cannot deny us. Where does Cypher come from? Where does Now Cypher come from? All that come from the guards. The B-boy standing on our square. So this is all the reality that I got to bring back to you and show you how we went from savages to being civilized beings. Okay? So let's go a little bit further into this right now about this video that St. Lads did, and thank y'all once again. Even though it's on his platform, it did over 10,000 views in one day.
So I would have to take everything from the beginning to tie it in so that people could really understand what the whole concept of this 18 thing was. But of course, I'm right at the center of that because that's all our side of the projects.
Because I'm from Howard Projects. That's not that far. So
I know a lot about Howard Projects. Howard Projects was real, so you got to understand the Ville and the East is very, very tight with our foundation and the 5% thing. So Brownsville as well, when we was growing up, was, full of 5%. As a matter of fact, Howard Houses, you had 2 brothers from there, King of Law and I want to say King of Law and Chanel.
Okay, you heard what I just said? When I say the history of the 5% nation and how we are one when it comes to our history, one of the foundations is a brother named Katanga Ali. You know what I'm saying? Barcar, you know, Now Law, Noah Law, you know, Magnificent, a whole bunch of brothers, you know, but basically we off that tree out in East Medina and Brownsville. And even going back then, when I was growing up, shout out once again, so many people done returned to the essence, but K-Son, he used to come out there and build with us, you know, martial artist. He passed away. He opened up a karate school down here in Raleigh before he returned, but I know his sons and them is still, from what I heard, is supposed to be keeping it up, you know. But you had the older guards, I Sincere, you know, Lord Islam. You had three-piece Bishmi. Matter of fact, that was a big thing. We wanted to blow that liquor store up, you know, right there. Where is that, on the corner of Rockaway and it ain't Rockaway, it's Sutter, Blake, one of them. But y'all know what I'm talking about. I be trying to move on because I don't be wanting to get stuck. But you know, they king out love. They killed the guard outside that liquor store. He supposed to be killed, I think, by the dude that owned the liquor store or whatever. You know, Messiah with the mole on his face, and so many other, you know, real outstanding guards from Brownsville. And also when you deal with Akbar history, not just him and Powerful, Octavius, you got to deal with Bull, Dakim, you know, which is older. I don't know whether he was older than Akbar, but I know he was older than Powerful, Stocky, Cock, Diesel. And I forgot to mention Penn Workman, Gershwin houses, you know, I mentioned Linden houses, I mentioned Boulevard, that little Cozine joint. They wasn't really a project, they was more like a co-op back then, and all those was there prior to Starlight City coming about. But anyway, when we used to get our summer youth corps job checks, we had to go up to Gershwin Junior High School to get our summer youth corps job checks. And everybody knew it. And that's what it was. All the gangs, all the little robberies, stick up, you know, strong arm robbers, they there to get payday. And matter of fact, it ain't no shame in the game. We used to pay some of the older cats, Limpy and other OGs in my hood, you know what I'm saying, L and all them, to go with us to get our check so we didn't have to worry about getting robbed. But that didn't too much apply to me again, because this universal flag was dominant then. You understand me? So when we used to go to get our check, there was a bank right across the street. You had to be the most lamest, even if you lived out there. You had to be a complete fool to go into that bank and cash your check and not think when you come out, you're not going to get robbed on one of them blocks walking to wherever you got to go with that money. So once again, it was hectic. And Dakim Bull, he used to run the lines or going in there to get your check. And I never forget, that was the first time that, you know, this is before pit bulls. That's when the boxers was the, you know, they was the shit. The boxers, the Doberman, and of course, you know, our everlasting German Shepherd. But the boxers was the first ones, you know, before the pits, that, you know, individuals was a little bit nervous. And he used to run the line with that boxer dog, you know. So we'll come to get in the end of the line or whatever, and by the time he get down there and he see the flag or whatever, dang, my flag just came off too. I'm glad I got it. But he would see the universal flag pinned on us, be like, yo, young guard, come on. You ain't got to stand in line. He take us to the front of the line. We go and get our checks, come back out, and there's some other brothers over there that's letting them know, yo, y'all know, y'all better not touch none of them young 5%ers you know, getting their checks or whatever. But those was just all the little things that was the makeup and the grooming. You understand what I'm saying? Of what we supposed to be calling this gangster shit. But we know it ain't gangster no more because a lot of the gangsters done turned into something else. You know? So we gonna do our best to keep it moving and to keep it gangster on guards in them streets.
Yeah. The picture that I got, I don't know if you got it, but it's in a couple of joints. That's the original picture. It was Panama, me, Arif, El Son, and I think the youngest one, Arif was young as hell too. I think the other young brother that's in the picture with us is K-Shot. So really it was just like, you know, and of course Damu is, you know, like that, he's the...
Okay, there's one person I left out that was in the bottom of that picture, and that was the great Minister Allah. And yes, I've been saying for a long time, what people, you know, especially the guards, because they used to always, oh, Minister was the leader of the 18. Yes, from the beginning. And that's why I say it was a movement, not just the drugs. You understand? Because by the time we got to the drugs, two of our main individuals, our super OGs, I call them that, because I respect these individuals mental and physically, because these are the individuals that put my mindset and they also put that battery in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Not to fear nobody. You know, like Minister Allah used to say, you don't fear nobody that ain't God. But anyway, you know, my brother, you know, Chip Damu, that I give the ultimate respect to. And once again, I don't want none of y'all to be throwing anything out of, you know, context when I said on that particular video that had Damu been home, that things would have went a lot different because, you know, he activated on intelligence and brain. I'm not saying that none of the other leaders was brainless or disrespected anybody. What I'm saying is that you got to have authority over authority. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to keep it real. I had a lot of authority, but it was individuals that had more authority than I had. So if it would have meant more according to the way I wanted it to go and the way which was the concept. And I don't want to move too fast because St. Lad still got another half that's just the intro, and I don't want to give y'all too much because, you know, I'm still give my brother nothing but supreme jewels and bombs on his platform. But when you come back to my platform, once again, you will see I got these videos that's a year old talking the same thing. So when we first formed the A team, the law team, and everything else going into this, you know, drug culture, we justified that we became that so that we could what? Buy back the community. The bodegas, the cleaners, the Chinese restaurant, you know, later on, of course, the Jamaican restaurant, and nothing is wrong with these people because these people are original people too. But the problem is just like we justified that we wasn't letting nobody come in our community and get rich selling drugs, was the same reason why we were saying we was going to take this drug money and flip it into what it should be flipped into, which is buying back our community. And I hate to say that anybody that say to me, oh, y'all did so much wrong and self-destruction and y'all was supposed to be righteous. And yeah, but we wasn't holy. And that was the first economical means and basis that came to our community without no strings attached, that not even the powers that be could control it. But we didn't stick to the plan. So we became individuals. And when you get individualism setting in, you know, that's when you know, the jealousy, the lust, the envy, and everything else can also set in. And it starts to cause division. And like we say in our lessons, the first, you know, process of making devil is to cause separation. You know what I'm saying? Because he started causing confusion amongst the righteous people, causing them to fight and kill amongst one another. And that's what started to happen to us. Because it was a time in Cypress Hill, whether you lived in the front, the back, the side, or whatever. Like I told y'all, when we leave out that project, wherever we rolling a party, we going uptown or whatever, all the petty beefs that we got in the project, the front, the back, the side, the this, that shit go out the window. And this is why Glaze, Tut, LD, Kool-Aid, you know what I'm saying, Boo Brown, you know, Abijab, Dollar Bill, Biz, you know, Stone, Rock. I could go on and on forever. And I'm not taking nothing away from those of you that I'm not mentioning right now, here and now, because it will come other times where, you know what I'm saying, that those individuals will come into play. But once again, like I said, when we left out the projects, we was all one. What made Brooklyn so strong is when we get on that A train going uptown, from the guards coming all the way out from Far Rockaway. And that's another thing. Far Rockaway, Coney Island, any places where there's an island and it's just them over there, watch out. It's deadly. It's different. You know what I'm saying? But the guards coming from Far Rockaway on the A train, you stop on Grant. Then, like I said, Euclid, you know, and then from Euclid, you know, we run an expressive weather, Broadway Junction, Bushwick, Canarsie, you know, other parts of East New York or whatever. And now we all coming to the law train to go uptown. And from there, we're going to stop, next stop, Utica. We're going to pick up the Utica crew. And then most important, let's keep it real, and they rock for life. Nostra Nav. We're going to pick them up. And we just going to form Voltron. Boom, boom, boom. By the time we hit the city, we like termites. 1978 Taste the Honey show, Michael Jackson, we flipped it. So even the other ones that come after us and became wolf packs and all that, they got that from us. Another thing with the side block guards and all that, Sirius, Divine and all of them, when we was young, you know what was popping off on Christmas time? They was taking us all to Delancey Street, right? Mobbed up. Maybe 30 of us. You know what we going up there to do? We going up there to get busy on them Jews. Yeah, the same ones that take all year long and give nothing back, we going to get something back. And you know, now that I'm older and wiser and everything, a lot of those things that I used to justify back then to commit these so-called crimes against society, you know, I think different. Of course, I have no choice at this degree. But back then, that shit ain't mean nothing to me. And on top of that, I'm going to be fresh afterwards. And it wasn't like my moms couldn't afford it. But she could only afford to buy me one quarter field. She could only afford to buy me one pair of British Walkers. If I want after the black quarter field, I want the blue one. I want the beige one with the real fur, with the yellow lining in the inside. Same way with the Playboys, how we used to make cats lift up their feet to see down at the bottom if they was clear, see-through, or whether they was, you know what I'm saying? If they was all black, homie, you ain't got the real deal. But let me get back to what I was talking about Delancey Street. And that was another thing, too. You couldn't go down there and go shopping 14, 15, maybe not even 16, not unless you was thorough. Because you go to get back on that train, you ain't thorough, or you don't peep certain movements, you're going to get bagged for whatever you bought. Okay? So we used to go down on to Delancey Street on Christmas Eve, or whatever it may be. And back then, they used to hang all the coats and everything that they were selling. They used to hang them outside on hooks and everything. They used to have tables out there, mock necks. You know what I'm saying? I come from the Knicks and Huckapoo. That's why y'all gonna understand. Those of y'all that don't know me, y'all ain't meant to know me. But I'm gonna give you me right now. So we get down to Delancey Street. Everything is planned. One mob on one side. If it's 30 of us, 15 on one side, 15 on the other. And when we going berserk. We going through that whole block, snatching everything and anything that we can get. You know what I'm saying? Coming back home, the whole hood, all of us is lit up. We ain't got to worry about our moms buying us nothing for Christmas. We done went and took ours. And that's just the Brooklyn mentality. You know? Harlem and all that. And I got a story, like I said, all these is before that, about Harlem and my, being turned on to the game. I ain't tell y'all how much with Disco Fever and all this when I go into my man Eddie Richardson, Crazy Eddie joint. Y'all gonna bug, But that's how it's supposed to be. Y'all supposed to have individuals that, move like that underneath the radar. And we, like I said, we do our thing. Before I go any further with this, another thing I wanted to state about my relationship with Akbar from when I was young. You see, y'all clowns can't mess with me. Don't try and play with me. Do your research before you say anything about the God. All right? They used to have the premiere, on Sutter, the Sutter premiere. That's where the Tomahawks used to meet and be at all the time. That was the gang movie theater back then. You know what I'm saying? And what I never forget, Lord bless my old earth, I was blessed to have that lady for 95 years. Yeah, she just returned last year on the Knowledge Guard Day of December. The last one of the year, she gave up. That was it, And I still ain't, more than everything else like I should, but that's just real. When it come, it'll just come. Anyway, me and my moms is in the movie theater. I never forget it, right? We went to see the Big Dollhouse. Yeah, with Pam Grier. To this day, I still love you, Pam Grier. And that particular movie I never forget, because she was in jail and somehow she ended up in the bathtub with the sons. And, back then, the titty show or any of that, your mother gonna do like this because you a little kid, or she turn your head, boy. So happily, we in there watching the Big Dollhouse, and all of a sudden I turn around, I see all these cats, they had the leather jackets then too, but most of the time they wore the dungaree jacket. And see, when you see the fur on the collar, when you put the fur on your collar, that meant, you was a warlord, you was somebody that had earned their stripes in the game. Watch The Education of Sonny Carson again. And matter of fact, Black C. Shabazz is in the Education of Sonny Carson. I don't know, is he the one that talk about Little Boy or whatever, but he got a speaking part in the Education of Sonny Carson. And to show y'all how real live I am with that, Akbar told me before I finished with that story about the premiere that he got paid $5,000 for being one of the leading roles in the Education of Sonny Carson. So your daughters, his daughters out there and his sons that really don't know me like that, I salute y'all. And our problem is that bond that we had early growing up in the 5% nation, and all our children knew each other and everything else. When the drug game came, that destroyed that also. So a lot of y'all may not know me. I know even little Akbar and said things like, I don't know him, but if y'all know Arif and all these other individuals, you got to know me because I'm responsible for them. Yeah, I was a master teacher out there, and there's a whole lot of other brothers that was too, But like I said, I probably lost track of where I was going with that, but I'll go back to the movie theater. Okay, Akbar came in to the movie theater, and somehow, you know, and this is why I say we had respect, we had morals without gangsterism back then. And they had it before me. All I am is a carbon copy of them. I'm cut from the cloth that they already laid out for me, you know? And I remember Akbar coming in there and telling me and my mother and other women with their children that y'all need to get up and let us escort y'all out of the movie theater because we're about ready to have a gang fight. Do y'all hear what I'm saying to y'all? This is real live shit that I'm telling y'all. This is not no cat. This is real live experiences that I had with them brothers growing up as a child. You understand? And everywhere that I turn with my real gangsters and real cats that I respect from the hood, all of them was the same when it came to protecting the young, and especially the ones that got knowledge of something. And like I said, it's no 85s, there's nobody else that impressed me like the gods impressed me. Like those true and living gods impressed us. They came to the ghettos of hell. You understand? With those teachings that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Farad and them was given to those that was inside those temples. And the Father gave it to us because the knowledge was free. Most of y'all is up on these YouTubes now. Y'all pimping with, oh, I got information. The rest of y'all is Negroes and knuckleheads and this, that, and the third. And there's nothing wrong with that also. Wherever we can find a lane. But always know that they always doing all within their power to keep the truth from being told. I've been monetized for a while. Mostly everything that I throw up here is not monetized. It don't even make it to the little monetization sign where it's yellow. Mine strictly stayed no color. And I have no problem with that. And I'm not going to say I ain't up here and I don't deserve it like they deserve it. If anything, I deserve it more. You know? Because I'm showing you, you know, the results of what all of that was about. But once again, those individuals, they laid the foundation for what we became. Because when they all stopped gangbanging, my cousin and all of them, where I told you 1973, you know, and I rolled in their house at 11 years old at Albany Projects. Not only was they Jolly Stomppers, they had just changed their name from Jolly Stomppers to Ex-Cons. Alright? I'm going to do maybe a little bit more of this video. I'm not going to do the whole thing because, you know, me and Lad's going to get it on. You know, each one teach one. One hand washes the other. But a lot of y'all other platforms, y'all had the ability to get me on your platform too. But nobody really wanted to give the God the break where he could express the truth. So let me go a little bit more into the video now.
You know, started to pop off as far as the money was concerned. Because if he was still out there, you know what I'm saying, he would have controlled the things a lot better. You know, sometimes you got people in position, they got all the heart, but they got no brains, and that gets in the way. So, you know, that.
So what I was saying too was, when I skipped all around because I be having so much stuff, that once again, like I said, Minister and Damu, you know, they the money part. They missed the part where the 18 started to get money. And if we would have had the guidance of our older brothers there at that time, then things might have went a little bit different.